All right. Well, that wasn't working, but we're here. Guys, I got nervous. My camera wasn't working. And then I got nervous because I just tried to figure out how to get this, figuring out this space right here. There's a grow light. I thought I busted the camera with the grow light for a second, but this grow light, it looks way too bright. We're going to have to see if we can fix this in some way. It's okay. We'll put it up right now. Trying to get a plant wall behind me, and it's just like little plants right now. I had some there before. Got this plant happening here. Got Christmas going away in just a few, so a lot going on. But Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Sorry for that technical difficulty. First day of the year. That's okay though. And is it okay? I started the new year hot, by the way. Listen to this. Now, this probably defines, this is how I kind of see myself in the world. This defines sometimes where socially, I'm not so ready to go out in the world, in real life. So I think sometimes my sarcasm isn't met completely. Now, I'll also preface this with there may have been some sort of language barrier, but like not really. So I don't know. I love kids. I do. I love other people's kids. Now, they can also be something that maybe I'm just trying to connect with differently. It's already coming off weird. Anyway, step in the elevator, taking care of a dog. I step in the elevator this morning, bringing the dog out to go to the bathroom. I walk in, this father that I know from the building, probably not very well. We just see each other, right? So we have that. And then his son is there too. Son's maybe, I don't know, 5, maybe 6 at most. He's wearing a onesie, right? It's New Year's Day. They were up late, whatever. They're going, I don't even know where they're going, right? But his son is there in a onesie, fuzzy onesie, like his PJs, right? And on them, on them are a bunch of cars, and it says Hot Wheels in big letters, like all over. It's just this pattern. It's this repeating pattern across the whole thing. It's obviously a Hot Wheels. They're obviously a Hot Wheels pajamas. No question about it, because the words are all over it. So, I mean, the way that I like to connect with a kid really quickly is like, I like to look like an idiot. A little bit of self-deprecation goes a long way, I think, with kids. And so I'm looking, I'm like, oh man, you look so comfortable. Happy New Year, right? The dad's there. He smiles at me like, oh, you're interacting with my kid. Like, he doesn't want to talk, whatever. So I look at the kid. He's wearing his Hot Wheels PJs. We know they're Hot Wheels PJs. Why? Because it says Hot Wheels on them and there's cars all over. But in this is how I go ahead and connect with kids. And so I said, oh, hey, let me guess what's on your PJs. Ninja Turtles? We all know it's Hot Wheels. The dad looks at me like I'm an idiot. He looks down at his son. He looks at his PJs and looks at me and goes, no, it's Hot Wheels. It's like, fucking no, it's Hot Wheels. What do you get? Of course I know it's Hot Wheels. And so now I'm like, oh, I got now. Mind you, we only go 4 floors, so it's not like it's a long elevator ride. So now I'm like, I hope this guy gets the fact that I'm just kidding and trying to kind of engage with his son. He goes, no, it's Hot Wheels. I'm like, I know it's Hot Wheels. And then I'm like, oh, we'll save this. And then I was like, maybe they just don't know about Ninja Turtles. So I was like, hey, is Ninja Turtles a thing? He goes, no, we're into Hot Wheels. I was like, I know. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, sometimes I feel like I don't need to be going out in the world. Another example was just this morning. What a great way to start the day. Why not? It's okay. So yeah, it was the longest elevator ride of my life. Thanks so much, guys. But Happy New Year. All right, it's a new year. I'm going to say this. I don't want to be that guy that says I don't like New Year's resolutions. New Year resolutions, New Year's resolutions, one of these things. Also, like when you write a holiday card, Christmas card, is it hyphenated? It's not supposed to be. But just like this, I'm not really sure. But I say New Year's resolution. Is that what it is? Anyway, not big on it. Now I'm in the industry of making New Year's resolutions all the time. But the reason why I say I don't like it and where I want to go with this, and I want to get your wheels turning, guys. So again, I love observers. Please observe. We got a great number of people over here checking in on on X right now. Thank you for checking out Facebook and everyone that is up a little bit earlier. Okay. Nath, what's happening, friend? Not big on New Year's resolutions, but I am big on just being able to reflect. I like to reflect. I've said this thousands of times that sometimes I don't know whether I like to hear myself talk or just hear myself reflect. Could be both. I'm fine with either. So I'm more a fan of making sure that we're connecting with an identity, just making sure it's something we're okay. Like where are we going with this? Who are we? And so I want you guys just to think about this too. You don't have to do it at all. I wanted to do it within the Daily Dad's couch, within the community over on X. And maybe I still will, because I think it's important. Because a big thing with men, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. This is anybody, but I know it's with men. One, connecting. I think men have a hard time, which is great. I think dads, men have a hard time connecting, especially when things get busy. And that's just dad life in general, right? Whew. I mean, let's say that again, right? Men, busy, can't connect, not sure. Am I feeling this way only? Should I tell anyone about this? Yeah, I'm going to tell you. If you have a question, a thought, a fear, you're going to have at least 6 or 7 people in your close community that are thinking the same exact thing. If I've learned anything across my time of speaking on stages of hundreds of people watching or being in one-on-one sessions all day long, is that most people have the same thoughts. Most people have the same fears. Most people have the same desires. A little bit different here and there. But whatever you're thinking right now is likely what somebody else wants. And why I'm saying this is because I want you guys to be an observer as long as you need. And when I say observer, I mean you're watching this, you're looking at content, whatever. Observe as long as you want. I think some of the best people have been observers. And what I also mean by that is, I post content all the time. I've been on, different stages talking, but I won't hear feedback from someone maybe until like 2.5 years later. Like, hey, you know what? First time I got your content was over there, kind of looking at it, brought this into my life. I want to let you know how some things have changed it, right? And, within the nutrition world, at least, a lot of things I deal with, there's nothing new that I'm saying. Everything you need from nutrition, it's already out there. And now you have ChatGPT to tell you exactly what's going on. It's more about how things are packaged and how they're said. I'm not here to talk about my work as much, but it's more about making sure that I know that whatever you wanted to accomplish last year was likely what somebody else wanted to accomplish. That's not to tell you that you aren't a special unicorn snowflake. What's that new meme coin that's out? Unicorn farts, unicorn fart dust. Is that what it is? You are unicorn fart dust, all of you. You're special. But whatever you're thinking is what someone else is. And again, why I'm saying this is because instead of needing to make these lofty New Year's resolutions, I'm going to make X amount of money. I'm going to buy, I heard someone recently say this, I'm going to buy X amount of houses this year. Okay. Whatever it is. I like them. They're great. I mean, make your goals defined, make them measurable, right? All those things. But I'm bigger on this. And this is the biggest thing that I see with people is that they don't have the identity that they really want to connect with. Sure. Go ahead and start get yourself to a new tax bracket, whatever you want to do, make as much money as you want to, right? Start your real estate empire, whatever you want. But I think a lot of people say these things, but what they don't do is they don't identify with the person that needs to be there. And so when someone says, I want to own 3 more houses, I want to rent them out, that's going to be some of my side income. Great. Go ahead and do it. Do you know what it takes? Do you know what that person has to be? Our buddy Dom is someone who works in construction, right? Dom is one of the best in the country at making sure that he is a contractor that you want to have on your side at all times. I mean, what a great guy. But to be a contractor, that's a different identity than someone who is in finance, than is someone that is a stay-at-home dad, right? You need to identify with that person. So I'm not here to preach. I'm here to get you thinking, hopefully. And so I know for me, again, I'm not big on those New Year's resolutions as much. And I like to set kind of shorter term things, monthly, quarterly, whatever. But I wanted to make sure that I came up with a new mantra for myself that incorporated my family, some financial things, just connecting with this. And I needed to start with at least a mantra, and then I need to make sure that I have my identity there. And I felt very comfortable as I kind of wrote these things out. I want to share it with you. I just shared on X. You may have seen it. Robbie liked it already. I know Robbie saw it. But my thing is this. My thing is about growth. It's about my family. It's about my future, right? So what I wrote down, tell me if this resonates. And I want you guys to let me know. I want you guys to think about what is a mantra? What is an identity that you want to connect with? Don't set a goal just yet. Great. I want you to make money. I want you to do all the things in life you want to do. But don't set those goals just yet. Do me a favor. And I want you to think about what your identity is. And this is mine. I said that in the new year here, right? I am a person, I will grow with clarity, lead with strength, and create a secure, joyful future for my family. Yeah, that's what I needed. I needed to hear myself say it, need to hear myself write it down. But that's my identity for, I'm not going to say a year. Look, no one sticks with the same goal a year. And even if they have the same goal, they change within that time. So, but this is an identity that I can always come back to, right? So it gives me at least some sort of structure when I'm making a decision. When I'm making a decision to VF fam, hop on, spend a little money, buying some of these things that the team is putting out. Well, is this something I'm going to purchase right now? And it's also going to create some sort of secure, joyful future for my family. Am I leading with strength by doing this? Am I growing with clarity? Maybe yes. Am I growing with clarity if I buy this item from Gary Vaynerchuk because it's going to give me clarity and how I maybe look and feel within the VFriends community? Maybe. I just need to make sure I'm doing it, right? Or if I'm not getting up in the morning, to get myself to the gym, right? Because sometimes these routines during this time of year they get crazy, right? I have not been as active as I wanted to be. But if I have a decision, I have to make a decision, right? It's, I woke up, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't go back to bed. What's my decision? Well, my decision should go into that identity. And so it's just there. It's there to remind me. And I'm a very much out of sight, out of mind person. So this will be on a note card posted next to my computer. So I'll do it. So we have that. But Nate, thank you so much for jumping in. And I'm just, again, I'm so big on this, guys. I don't need anybody on the couch right now to ever feel that you need to get, to type something out, get involved. I don't need that. But I do just want you guys, just be an observer until you're ready. But I do ask you, once you are ready, let us know how you're feeling. Type it out. Come in there. But yeah, don't ever think that you're pressured. But Nate, thank you so much. I know that you are a man of many words. So thank you for sharing. But I'm going to read this verbatim as I go because this is going to help ground me. But my big thing, Nate says, is not resolutions, but rather the bucket list mentality. Tell me more. I'm now interested. If you put more emphasis on the things you want to do before you die, all right, we're going big. You generally put much more heart and effort into actually achieving or at the very least trying to accomplish them. Yeah, totally. Nate, 2 things on your, is it a bucket? Yeah, it's a bucket list mentality. Nate, 2 things on your bucket list right now. You've done a lot of things. You've riding fast bikes, right? I know I guess that's the one thing I'm like, okay, that's what he's definitely doing. I'm sure you fought a kangaroo. You had to have done that, right? Does everyone else really fight a kangaroo at least once in their life? Man, that stuff's crazy. All right, anyway. Not anyway, take it back. We're right in line with where we got to be. And the reason I'm saying all this, yes, it's the new year. But I think the other reason I'm saying this is because we are in a moment, new year, not talking about death anymore. If you don't know, we talk Ryan Holiday, Daily Dad, every morning, right? Usually I will say this whenever the other guys aren't here, but we're reading every morning, 1 page a day. What a great way. I mean, what an easy way to get into reading more. Remember, if you want to be someone that reads more, stop thinking it's got to be a book a week. If you want to read more, it's just reading more. I'm just now realizing I'm tapping into not even my own head. This is a James Clear thing, right? If you are someone who wants to read more, just read more. That might be a sentence a day, right? But what I think what's really great is that the Ryan Holiday, like, I guess I'm reading every day. I am a reader because I'm reading every day with 1 page, which I think is really awesome. But more importantly, with this, I want to make sure that we're talking about behavior because that's what was in the book today. A new month. What is Teach by example. I saw this before. I just forgot what it was, and I loved it. Teach by example, the only method that works. This is really similar to when we first started. This was like in June, March. What was June, guys? Anyone remember? June was also very similar to this, right? Don't neglect yourself. That was June. So every month, Ryan Holiday, there is a theme. And so the theme for June was don't neglect yourself, lessons in self-care. That month was taking care of yourself, but it was all taking care of yourself, having your kids see it, being there stronger for your family. Fire month to start, by the way. Fire month. Now, pretty much a similar thing here for January. We're going back because we started in June. Oh, great, right? What episode are we on? What did I say? 217. Awesome. Also with the book, Nate, thanks for saying that. The book was recently $2.99 in digital. And so if you guys need it, go get it. I know Blaze, when he's here, he had digital audio, the audio book. He might have some more free tokens, whatever it is. So ask him if you guys need that. But anyway, June, all about taking care of yourself, self-care, having your kids see it. Same thing here. Your kids are going to follow what you do. If you have anything that you want to accomplish this year, anything you want to accomplish, make sure that you're not doing it just for you. And I don't think that's the case for most people here, especially if you're listening to this. I'm also going to let you know this. If you are here right now, whether it's 8:52 a.m. here on the East Coast or you're 8:52 p.m. somewhere in Australia, shout out, Nath. Shout out, Craig. Love you guys. Don't do it for you, right? So I want you to think about your behaviors and your habits. Behaviors and habits, behaviors and habits. What is it that you're doing and what have your kids picked up? I'm going to tell you one that I'm hoping my kids aren't picking up. For me, I know there's a spot in our apartment, spot in our house, spot in our home that I go to when I'm ready to tap into the next thing I got to do for work. It's on my phone usually, right? Not always on my computer. I know that if I'm sitting or laying in that area and I have my phone, my kids usually know that I'm maybe working, right? But I also don't want that to be the way that they look at their dad more times in the day than not. And I feel like, especially over this break, it's been happening more. Hey, what did your dad do over the break? He was laying in that spot with his phone getting some work done. I don't want that. I don't want them to think that on break that happens. So, I've always said a few things. We have 4 things that we always try and do with our family. The things that I always want my family to make sure that they're trying. And, you're not always going to be perfect with it. I'm saying this because if my wife's listening, she knows that we haven't been great with it. But the first thing I always want is you get up and you squeeze your muscle. You squeeze your muscle, whether it's walking, push-ups, a workout, whatever you want to do. Squeeze your muscle, because for us, mental health is a big thing. And so the mental health side of things, you squeeze your muscle, you move your body, it's going to affect your brain in the right way. It's going to get you settled for the day. And I want our kids to have that. And I know that my oldest, as I think she's getting into this, if I can, I also love the fact that this is not as mainstream as it was a few months ago, but my oldest is a more of a neurotypical, as I'm identifying right now, her. And so I want to make sure that we're taking care. Like she deserves her parents to help her grow up with a structured lifestyle where she can be secure in who she is and how she's going to go about the world. If she's going to live in this world, because I did this as a young kid, I was thrown into this world of needing to take my brain, how it operated, in this world where it wasn't made to operate. That's just how neurotypical people kind of see things. But I don't want I don't want my oldest daughter to feel that way, because that's how I'm thinking about her right now. So it's up to me to make sure that there's habits and behaviors that she knows that she needs to do, not just because that's what mom and dad does, but because that's how I need to operate in the world for who I am and how I'm going to, be great. So that's what we have to do as a family. Does that track with you guys? Does it track? Big thing. 55. We got Robbie out on a walk right now. Bucket list thing is not resolution. Right? We got that one. Right? All right. Come back over here. Fist fighting over the vehicles? Nath, this is on your bucket list? have I ever been in a fist fight? Have you guys been in a fist fight before? I think I like drunkenly have like, it's like a stupor, kind of like messed it up a little bit. I don't know. Fist fighting with vehicles. Oh, you're asking. I see. Kangaroos. Are you talking, Ryan, fist fighting or vehicles? No to the first. Many times the second. So like kangaroos are like deer. So like deer here in the US, at least in the Northeast, all over the place. And so when I learned how to drive, you got to watch out for deer. And so maybe it's kangaroos for you guys. What a great world we live in. That's such a different kind of thing. Yeah, no, these. Thanks. I needed to get myself settled. All right. We have 4 minutes at the top of the hour here. But I'm hoping that this is something you guys don't get crazy with these New Year's resolutions if you don't want to. If you love them, do it. But get an identity together that you feel really strong with. And that's what I really would hope that you can definitely do. Right? Taking at least some sort of moment today. And I want you to notice how your kids maybe are reflecting on who you are, right? What's one positive behavior that you think they've picked up from you? Start there. Build on that. Don't think about the negative things. I know we can easily slip into the negative mindsets, but I would say more importantly, what's something that you think that they are picking up that you really like? Is it benefiting them? Take a next step into that area then, whatever's really going on. But parental influence is a theme here for today. And I wanted to make sure it's something that we remember that, whatever we're doing, we want to highlight for our kids, right? Let them see our actions, not just our words. We're leading by example, guys. Make sure that we have some integrity in what we do, prioritize healthy habits, reading, gratitude, exercise, whatever's going in. But as you think about this and you guys want to go into the new year, I'm hoping that everything you do is going to be all about imperfection, imperfect movement, imperfect growth. Please, I want everyone to please. This is like something I deal a lot of the time, people who walk themselves into what I call the fuckets. You know what the fuckets are? I already messed this up. I can't follow through. Fuck it. I give up. I'll start again later. Stop starting again later. You don't have to start again later if on a long enough timeline, you understand that this 1 or 2 days or even this month, on a long enough timeline, it doesn't even matter. What was the identity that you wanted to connect with? What do you want your kids to see? Just get back at it. And why did you maybe veer off course a little bit? I hate people say, get back on track. You're always on track. You're always on track. And you know what? Going straight at your goal is not the best thing most of the time. If you think that going from point A to point B, right? Goal setting to goal. If you think that's the best way to go, you know what? I don't think that you have enough, a wide enough view on life to actually know what life can offer you. I'm not saying don't be successful in what you do and don't kind of go through your checklist, make sure you're doing stuff. But if you feel that you can't continue doing today or this week exactly what you planned to do months ago when you made this New Year's resolution, you're okay. Because your kids are going to see you falling off track, not getting back on, and walking into the fuckets. Fuck the fuckets. Stop it. On a long enough timeline, we're all going to be successful. But we are not going to be successful if you keep telling yourself that you've fallen off track and you're not going anywhere. Like, you are always going somewhere. I can keep going off of this for a second. I think I just got a little fire lit in me based on some client conversations recently. But whatever it is, I know Jason yesterday, he said he's going to spend, I know, what did he say? He said he's not going to bring his phone into the bathroom. What? I love that. What a great goal. Not going to bring my phone in the bathroom. We talked about the consequences. Jason brings his phone into the bathroom and he tears his ACL. Crazy one, right? But regardless of why that's a thing, that's one, I think it's great, right? Spending less time on the phone, right? Because maybe he doesn't want his kids to see him as the dad that goes in the bathroom and just gets lost there for so long, right? But expressing gratitude, right? All those things. Dom, what's happening, my friend?
Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. Good morning. Dom, we're talking. New Year's. We're talking identity, less about the resolutions. But how are you
Sweet.
coming today?
Feeling good. Yeah. Stayed up a
Man.
little late last night. Got a little bit of sleep, but decent enough. Drank a little too
Mm-hmm.
much at the end of the night. But it happens.
Definitely.
Why am I not seeing comments here? Hold on.
No worries.
But where were you at? What were you doing?
Well, it's top of the hour. I wasn't in a rush, but I was going through a few things. It's a new month, and you know what? Start
Oh,
a
dude, I
new.
I missed the whole stream. For some reason,
No,
I had it
no,
in my head I was starting at 6. Oh,
stop it,
dude,
stop it. There's
New
nothing wrong.
Year.
There's nothing wrong right
Sweet.
now. There's nothing wrong. You are exactly where you need to be. We are where we need to be. Our relationship this morning is exactly what needs to be happening.
What the hell?
You came in with the best energy, and I love the energy. It's what we need.
I've I've been in my car for 15 minutes, been waiting for the stream to start, thinking it started at 6.
You know what? There's actually a
Maybe I'm
funny
still
start to the
drunk.
stream. Maybe you are. Did you wait? Hold on. How much did you drink last night?
Um, I was just drinking straight bourbon. Um, Maybe like 3 or 4 doubles.
Just bourbon?
Yeah.
Maybe this is why I like you. So I'm not as much of a drinker anymore. I went from basically not really drinking in high school because I was always playing sports. Fast forward to playing sports in college and getting hazed by the soccer team and sniffing vodka through my nose. Ugh. And then I got kicked out of college. And now I'm here. Now I'm here.
Yeah.
And throughout that time, I feel like the most consistent thing has been my enjoyment and respect for bourbon. So maybe that's why I just love you so much. That could be it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so fun. I don't know why I thought it started at 6.
No, you're all good. Wait, hold on. Let's just take a step back here because I'm not in a rush. Are you in a rush?
I just got here.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that you're not now. You're like, wait a second, what else is going on at this time? So it could be anything.
Hilarious.
Tom, are you a New Year's resolutions person? Are you somebody who likes to make short-term goals, long-term goals? I actually brought you up. I brought you up at the beginning. I brought you I gave you kudos for being one of the best contractors in the country. I
Oh,
said that.
really?
You can definitely go back. But we were talking more about identity. Because if there's somebody out there that was like, because this is the thing. I see a lot of people make these New Year's resolutions, these lofty goals. And then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, but that's not who you are. It's like
Yeah.
in 2025, I'm going to be an elephant. Well, do you know what it takes to be an elephant? Or no, like, are you going to do that? Right? No, ridiculous example. But the idea here is like,
I thought your
okay,
daughter had changed this year to being an elephant instead of a horse.
hey, maybe. Hey, shout out to, well, I got some of these minis, but I did in my first couple I pulled, I got a little empathy elephant over here.
Yeah.
It's nice.
That's a cute one.
But the identity kind of thing is that I think people make these goals and they don't really like, sure, you want it, but if you meant you're going to really go after that goal, you would think about who that person is or who you need to be, who you have to identify with to actually, get to that goal. Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking about.
Yep. That's the book I'm rereading, but I'm not doing a good job right now. Is called Personality Isn't Permanent, and it's a lot about that, about looking forward to your future on who you want to be, and then starting to make changes to who you are right now to becoming that person with that person in mind. And I think that's a lot of the problem that maybe people have, and I've had in the past with resolutions or goals or whatever. Like, I'm gonna work out, but I'm not. I don't think of myself as a healthy person. I just think of myself as a person trying to be healthy. Um, so I know you and I have talked about that a lot. Trying to actually change your mindset and your identity to, like, no, it's not that I'm not healthy. I am healthy and, working on doing that. So no, I'm not a New Year's resolution guy. I'm just, I go in and out of things, and I'm stepping back in, and I'm going to try to see, how I can get myself to that point. Because I've learned a lot doing the last couple of challenges and the last couple of things.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
In the last couple of challenges, I see you a certain way in the last couple of challenges, and I loved it. How, from a movement, from an active, from a healthy lifestyle standpoint, how do you define yourself in those challenges when they're actually there, when you're being watched, when you're being pushed? How are you defining yourself in those kind of moments, you think?
How am I defining myself? I don't know. I don't know that I don't know that I do. I think that's part of the problem, and why I picked up the book again is to like try to help myself understand like that I need to like still work at like that. What is it? Like positive affirmations of like myself versus like telling myself that I'm not um those things, or that I'm still working on those things. Yeah. Just
I
give up
would
on the microphones.
it can hear you either way. It's all good.
Yeah, I know.
The identity that I would think of you is that like you are such a community person, and I don't think a lot of people know this about Dom. I think behind the scenes, Dom does a lot in terms of connecting, staying positive, checking in with people, all these great things about Dom. And I think when it comes to a lot of these challenges, whether it's a walking challenge, another health challenge, whatever it is, Dom likes to show up. I think to be part of the community is how I always see you. And I think that you are even that much more powerful when you have a very uh, when you have a very um, measured, identified goal, like steps.
Yeah.
What is my step goal? You show up that much more uh, for, I don't think always for yourself as much as making sure you're part of the community, that you are making sure that you are, one of a few of making everyone stronger together. I love that about you. And so I really hope that that's something that you can identify with, and maybe that you can take that away. And we were also talking about, Tom, about what our kids see us doing. And my worry for you, I wasn't even thinking about this until right this moment. And even as I say these words, I'm still forming a thought on this, which is maybe why I suffered with so much stuttering as a kid and why I just kind of talk. But my worry for you is that something that your kids see. It's kind of more about the reading today.
Yeah.
Do you think your kids see you as much of a community positive connector as much as you actually are? Do you think your kids see that?
No. No, I don't.
Damn it. Why not?
I think they were because they kind of keep it all, in my phone, and they have their own lives in their phone. I mean, I'm definitely trying to teach them, and get them to branch out to friends. And we've told them a number of times that like our house is available to them and their friends whenever they want it. Like we offer, like, especially on like winter break and summer, like, invite your friends over. Like, it doesn't have to be a party. Like, if your friends want to come over. So we're trying to make we're trying to make them force, or get them to think more about connection and a relationship with others. I think
Oh,
they saw a completely different side of me at VCon. So that's why I was happy to have brought them with me, because they did see the side of me that you're talking about. That's very community, supporter, like friendship, love, respect, connection, all those things that I've been working on within this community. So that was great. And they see it a little, like Bailey sees it more than the others, because she's been in some of the streams, so she's seen like what everyone's like in the streams.
Oh, you mean
But
this like that? Not when you're on. You mean like
yeah, like whatnot.
yeah? Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got her in there with I lured her in there with the you can win free giveaways, honey. And then like she's been in the backgrounds in some of the stuff, which has been nice. We've shared some moments together.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, what
Appreciate you
can?
staying on late, man.
Yeah. No, it's okay. We don't have to go too much longer. But I wanted to make sure because I do like to talk, but I've also given myself my outlet to get my. I have another podcast like 3 years old, and I definitely took a couple months off as we were kind of building this whole VDads Daily Dad stuff, and I needed it. On the back of my head, I always kind of felt guilty that I was just kind of like letting it float around, but I pulled that back out for me to give myself that outlet to just be the kind of preachy kind of side, which I like, and I never want to be a preacher. Why I'm saying that is because I think right now I want to make sure that this isn't an episode that's all about me just talking, which it was. But I also don't mind when I'm coming on and it's just me. But for you, I feel like you have so much to give. My question was this, Tom. I think as a community of dads, one thing in particular that I was starting at, from the beginning at was like, dads are people that don't always speak up, aren't always connecting, have a hard time asking for help. And so this is that time to be an observer, make your goals, share when you're ready, all those kind of things. For you, and this whole thing of our kids observing it, stay with me here. I promise to come together. But for you right now, identifying that you are this community connector. I'm not trying to give you some kind of goal, but it is more about how our kids see us. And I think it's a great side of you, and I think they should be. You mentioned Bailey being your oldest, being able to see you do this a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can the community help you? Might not be an answer. Might be like, no, there's no way. But how could the community help you? How could the other dads listening that we're kind of with, how could we help you if you want that for your family, for your kids to see you as the person you are? Is there a way? Maybe not an answer right now. Maybe hey, thanks for asking. Let me think about it. I don't know. I had
Yeah.
one ridiculous way of thinking about it, but well, because this is what I was thinking. I was like, well, you know what? I feel like if we all lived closer and we showed up to your house more often,
Yeah.
right? But like, be like, oh, well, yeah, those are dad's friends coming over. So it's like, we're all going to fly out to LA. We're all going to do it. No, but it can't happen that way. But I would hope that it's something where if you or another dad, we have these goals, identity to make sure that we want to connect with, how can we definitely lift you up? How can we focus on you? And so that was my question. But let me actually punt that to you. Can the community help you in some way with that?
I'm pretty. I was trying to think of like my end of year reflection and stuff like that. Like I think I'm good. Like I love what's going on right now. Like I want it. I'm gonna find a way to bring what I'm doing more into the light, into my family's light, and the people like that are in my real like neighborhood and life. Like, and that feels weird to say because it's not that you guys aren't in my real life, because sometimes I feel like this is more my real life than anything. But it's the merging of the two. Like I just haven't been able to do it or figure it out. Like I'm you've never asked, but I've thought about it but never wanted to, but like try to connect my socials to like this live stream, because I'm not sure I'm ready for this to be posted onto all my socials. Um, and it's more of like a weird, like thinking of just like, how would I feel if my aunts and uncles and parents and wife and everybody just woke up one day and saw this posted across my socials? I don't know. That's something for you and I to talk about more, because I know you did it and it's very interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's also, I'm just thinking about that now. And can I just share a connected two thought thing
Uh-huh.
on that? One, I'm like, but I so heavily connect with this. And that's like what my life has always been. If I'm going through something, I'm probably going to make it part of like my business, or I'm going to make it part of something I do, because if I can bring those things together, it's going to help me so much. Just like this whole thing, like, I don't think I'd be as, and in no way do I ever think that I'm a perfect dad. No dad is going to be perfect. I got it, right? All those kind of things. But I would say that I'm not even the strongest dad of our group. And so when it comes to some of these things, like, but I also would be a lesser dad in this group. You're with me. Just stay with that thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, okay, well, I have to show up. I have to make this part of my life. Like, so like this routine is definitely helping me out. But why I'm saying this is because it's such an, I identify it with it so strongly. I want my family to see it. But I'm also used to it. I mean, like I've been podcasting for so long. I put myself out there for my business. And so sometimes I forget. And we talked about this too, I think, on the side. I remember, if anyone knows Jordan Sayat. Jordan Sayat is he's a nutrition health. He really started training and lifting, but he was probably one of the first. And he trained Gary Vaynerchuk, and Gary Vaynerchuk, I think, was kind of coaching him in some ways to, hey, this is how you're going to grow yourself, grow your business, become an influencer in some kind of way. And so I remember when was this? This had to be like 2016. Maybe 2017, I forget. Was someone born? I saw Jordan Sayat. Everyone had their eyes on him, and the social influencer space wasn't as fluid as it is now. But there was something he said of like, hey, if you want to do this too, you got to get yourself on camera. Just get yourself on camera. Say anything. And I've always been someone, I'm like, I will say anything. I don't care. I'll look stupid. Because you know what? I know that that everybody is thinking the same thing I am. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to make a mistake. Well, then I'll show you that. It's fine. But the one thing that I was really self-conscious about was like videotaping myself in like public, like walking with my phone in front of me. Now it's like nothing. But the one thing he pushed us to do was, or one thing he just said to do, go into a busy food store and, post yourself. And this was like before the, the Palindino things where they're going in shirtless and kind of like just telling you seed oils are bad and just, tossing everything on the ground. But I remember I walked in like it's really busy Brooklyn Trader Joe's. Probably a little bit like aggressive for me to start with, but I walked in there. I put the phone in front of me. I remember I was saying this. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm videotaping myself. I'm doing it. No one's looking at me. Wait, no, they're looking at me." I remember like, that's what I said. That was my first ever social media video thing that I posted. And so I remember doing it's just me being nervous, just telling you that I was nervous doing it, but it was really helpful. And so when I think about, you connecting your socials, I'm like, well, look, I love this. I identify it with it so strongly. I don't mind how I look. I also don't mind, divulging maybe, some more personal things, because I know that other people are dealing with those things. And I've seen it in one-on-one consultations in my business. I'm like, everyone's thinking about this, but no one, I hate that. I hate when someone says no one's thinking, no one's saying it, but it maybe not enough people are saying it for someone to actually have seen it and then connect with it. So I'm like, well, then I'll say it because you said it and it's true. But as long as you're yourself, and I totally think that everything you do and say, I mean, we're here, Dom, because of your idea, by the way, right? So if that's something your family saw you do, that's awesome. I'd love that. So connecting your social, I would hope that you're doing it because you identify it with it so strongly. There's just like no looking back. That was the first thing I was going to say. That really became extended. I forget the second thing I was going to say now. That's okay. I don't mind it.
Man.
I thought it turned out well. It's okay. I'll forget about it.
I'll try to work on that thought a little more this week, this month, this year. This is definitely something I've been thinking about.
Yeah, because isn't it like, I'm just thinking about it now, like that, if you did connect to socials, if you do or don't, I don't care. But it's the, well, I do care. I would hope that you'd lean towards yes, because of what I'm about to say is that I think that it would only support that identity that much more, which I think is really, an identity I think that you love. And I think that the community has shown you that it's so helpful in so many ways. So anyway, I see my wife texting. It's past time. She's like, are you with a client right now? She's probably hearing me preach a little bit. And she's like, is this a client call, Rye?
Just let her know that Dom woke up so confused.
Yeah, no, it's okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll call it then. But Dom, Happy New Year. I'm so glad you popped on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So perfect. All right, guys, we will talk with you tomorrow morning. You guys, hold on. I want to get this. Sometimes I feel like these streams are always better when we just get a little bit of a play out. A little music. Cool. All right, guys. Happy New Year. Let's go. Let's go.
You
See you soon.
guys.